For 16 long months, the northeastern state of Manipur has been torn apart by a relentless ethnic conflict between the Meitei and Kuki-Zo communities, two groups with deep roots and histories in the region, now divided by violence and mistrust. What began as simmering tensions quickly escalated into widespread unrest, engulfing towns and villages in chaos and fear. The toll has been devastating. Over 260 people have lost their lives, more than 60,000 have been forced from their homes, and entire villages have been reduced to ashes. Families have been shattered and the scars of loss run deep. Relief camps, hastily set up across the state, are now home to thousands of displaced people. These camps are divided by tense buffer zones, watched over by security forces, as families try to rebuild their lives amid uncertainty and fear. As the crisis deepened and the days dragged on, one question echoed through the streets, in homes, and across social media. Where was Prime Minister Modi? Why was there no word from the nation's leader? For many, his silence became a symbol of indifference, a painful reminder of the distance between Delhi and Manipur. The absence of leadership was felt in every corner of the state. Then, on September 13, 2025, everything changed. Prime Minister Modi arrived in Manipur without warning, his convoy moving through the heart of the conflict zone. His presence was dramatic, drawing both hope and controversy, as people wondered what this visit would mean for their future. The timing of Modi's visit, just before crucial state elections, sparked intense debate across the country. Was this a genuine act of leadership, or simply a calculated political performance aimed at winning votes? For the people of Manipur, the Prime Minister's visit was a moment heavy with pain, hope, and deep skepticism. A turning point that left the state searching for answers and for healing. The skepticism around Modi's visit is rooted in a year of silence and abandonment. As violence raged, internet shutdowns isolated Manipur, and pleas for help went unanswered by the Prime Minister. The state government faltered, President's rule was imposed, but Modi remained silent, fueling a narrative of neglect. Both Meiteis and Kukis felt invisible, left to survive on their own. 16 months of waiting deepened distrust. One visit could not erase the pain of being ignored. Relief at his arrival is mixed with suspicion. Why now and why so late? Modi's sudden visit, with no prior announcement, caught Manipur by surprise. The city, still reeling from months of unrest, watched as the Prime Minister's convoy rolled through its streets, bringing a flurry of activity and speculation. News of his arrival spread like wildfire, setting social media abuzz with questions, hope, and skepticism. Residents scrolled through updates, trying to make sense of what this visit could mean for their future. For many, the visit felt like too little, too late. A single day of attention after months of bloodshed, displacement, and shattered lives. Relief camps remained crowded, and the scars of violence were still fresh in people's minds. The timing, just before the crucial Bihar elections, only fueled suspicions of political motives. Was this a genuine attempt to address Manipur's pain, or simply a calculated move to sway voters elsewhere? Modi met with both Kuki and Meitei leaders, urging peace and unity. But for many who had lost homes and loved ones, his words felt distant, promises that echoed but did not heal. Critics were quick to call the visit an election gimmick, a distraction from months of government inaction and broken promises. Debates raged on TV and protesters demanded real accountability, not just speeches. The visit projected an image of control and concern, with cameras capturing every wave and gesture. But for those living through the crisis, the real question lingered. Would this attention bring lasting change? Or once the headlines fade and the convoys leave, will Manipur's struggles be forgotten yet again, lost in the noise of the next big story? In a high-profile visit, Prime Minister Modi unveiled a sweeping vision for Manipur's future, announcing a series of ambitious projects, including the construction of 7,000 new homes for displaced families and those in need. Alongside this, he promised a Rs 3,000 crore relief package, aiming to provide immediate support to those affected by recent unrest, and outlined major infrastructure investments designed to transform the region's connectivity and economy. Special funds were earmarked for the hilly Kuki-Zo regions, areas that have often felt neglected and marginalized in the past, to ensure that development reaches even the most remote communities. New roads and rail links are set to connect isolated villages, opening up opportunities for trade, travel, and access to essential services. Technology projects, including the installation of fiber optic cables and digital infrastructure, were also promised to bridge the digital divide and bring modern amenities to rural areas. Modi framed these initiatives as the dawn of a new era for Manipur, one that would bring prosperity and unity to a region long troubled by conflict and underdevelopment. He contrasted his government's pace and ambition with the slow progress of previous administrations, promising that this time things would be different. Yet for many in Manipur, such promises are all too familiar. The region has seen decades of grand announcements and pledges that often failed to materialize. Years of delays, abandoned projects, and broken commitments have left a legacy of cynicism and skepticism among the people. Residents understand that while roads and houses are important, they alone cannot heal the deep ethnic wounds or restore trust between communities. The true success of these projects will depend on fair, transparent execution and whether the benefits genuinely reach those who need them most. For now, the new pledges offer a glimmer of hope for a better future, inspiring cautious optimism among some residents. But for others, they remain a stark reminder of past disappointments and the long road ahead before trust can be fully restored. Modi's visit split public opinion. Some welcomed him, hoping for change. Others met him with anger and distrust. Crowds lined the streets, but civil society and youth questioned the timing and sincerity of his promises. Social media reflected this divide. Praise for bold action clashed with hashtags like #ManipurBetrayed. Many fear the funds and projects will be lost to corruption or bureaucracy. The community is torn, desperate for help, but wary of being used for political gain. For many, hope and resentment now coexist. Manipur's predicament, longing for peace, but skeptical of grand gestures timed for elections. As Modi departed, Manipur's core problems remained, now layered with political complexity. The visit shifted the national narrative, but its timing, just before elections, raised doubts about true intent. Critics argue real concern would have meant coming sooner, not on the eve of another poll. Yet, if the promised homes and aid materialize, they could bring real relief. The visit could be a turning point, if followed by sustained, impartial engagement and real solutions. Words and one-day visits can't heal Manipur. Only long-term action can. The question lingers. Was this the start of real change, or just another political performance?